and welcome to an all-new Hot Take Nation. I'm your host, Anthony Swenson. Today we're going to look at March Madness, spring training, and more, while the guys fire off the hottest takes you have ever heard. Today in the hot seats, we have two members of The Rush, a sports talk show on Westfield State's own WSKB 89.5. Returning to the show, to my right, we have co-host of The Rush, an intramural superstar, Connor Norton. And also returning over to my left, we have Brandon Wood, a senior standout high school running back, co-host of The Rush. Welcome to the program, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Today we're going to start off with March is here. And sports fans, you know what time it is. It's March Madness time. Guys, who do you think will be cutting down the nets in early April? We'll start with Brandon.
So who I picked to win the whole thing? Because it's a homer question because I'm a huge UNC Tar Heel fan. I'm picking the UNC Tar Heels. I feel like they've shown the consistency all season to be the best team in this in the tournament. I mean, I don't expect Duke to do anything like that, especially in the ACC tournament.
Don't even get me started, Duke. Don't even get me started.
All right, Connor, you're a big Duke Blue Devils fan. What do you see with Duke?
I see them having a lot of talent and not playing up to that talent. I mean, hey, good win against Louisville today. I gotta give it to them. That they pulled it off at the end.
How far do you see them going in the tournament?
I think
Elite Eight.
And I know they lost to 215 seeds, but I think they always have the chance to go Elite Eight every year. And that's just basically because Coach K. And I think Coach K just wins. And he knows how to win. Same thing with Roy Williams in North Carolina.
I'm going to interrupt you guys here. You guys are talking about two homer teams. Actually, this is one sport.
I mean, that's not who I was picking.
No, absolutely. No, but I'm going to talk about UCLA.
Uh-huh.
That's a great team. Everybody underrates them. They're ranked third in the country right now.
Who's underrating them?
A lot of people. We've had many callers on WSKB say UCLA should not be a number one seed. UCLA should be a number one seed going into one. If they can win the Pac-12, they're number one seed, and I think they can make a run to the Final Four.
UCLA should be a number one seed, but I don't think they will be unless they win the Pac-12.
Totally agree. I mean, you have Kansas losing earlier this week to TCU in their tourney. I don't think they're going to be a number one seed after that.
Which is a huge loss, especially taking into consideration that this was the first week one of the tournament. It was the first round, and
it's tough to lose the first round
against a 16 and 14
8
team.
seed. Yeah,
like that really doesn't look good for them heading into the tournament.
UCLA, I agree with you. I think UCLA is definitely underlooked, just because when the brackets came out, the top 4 or the top 16 that were going to come out, that came out 2 weeks ago. I mean, they were a 4 seed. So, and they were behind Louisville, and they were behind teams like that. So, I think that they have been underlooked, and I think they deserve a 1 or a 2 seed. But Kansas losing definitely plays into that.
Do you think Monte Ball's dad has a thing to do with that? Monte is taken away from UCLA? Is that what's going on? Is it too big? He's becoming too big for the team?
I feel it's a yes and a no answer for me, because let's not discredit Lonzo Ball and his playing ability, because he's still a top 3 pick in the NBA draft coming up. Regardless of what his dad's doing, all the antics off the court, he's still a top-tier talent. He's still one of the best point guards in the country. The way he can handle the floor, dish out the ball, and shoot. You know, his jump shot's a little ugly looking, but it goes in, and that's all that matters.
All right, thank you for correcting me there. It's Lonzo Ball. I was thinking of the running back, Monte Ball.
I think his dad thinks he's bigger than the team. I think it's not as much him.
Connor, who do you think is going to win it?
Who I think earlier, I thought Kansas. I'm going to be honest with you. I thought Kansas played well.
So who's your pick right now here on Hot Take Nation?
Right now, I'm going to have to go. That's tough. I'm going to honestly.
It is the hot seat.
I'm going to have to go Villanova.
The repeat.
The repeat. They're
Tar Heels.
Playing well this year.
You really think the Tar Heels? Why?
Yes, every year I pick the Tar Heels.
Okay.
Barack Obama. What was it? Barack Obama. That's exactly what you sound like.
No, last
Without
year
the homer of UNC.
I really believe that.
Michael Jordan's not walking through that door. Vince Carter's not walking through that door.
Obviously.
Being there last year.
I understand that, but
being in the championship last year, I think they have a little edge on them.
Yeah,
I know not all those players were with that team.
To be honest with you,
coaching and psychological gameplay.
Roy Williams isn't that good of a coach. He
isn't that good of a coach. I'm a Duke fan.
He's a good coach for what he does, but he's not a champion.
What he does is coach.
When was the last time he won a championship?
He was just in the championship game last year.
What have you done for me lately?
Get to a championship game.
Did he win that championship game?
I mean, nobody got there.
Who did he lose to?
We lost in a couple seconds left in the game. It was a lucky shot.
Let me ask you this:
anything could change.
Did his team have the bigger score at the end of the game?
Obviously, that's how games work. Whoever has the bigger
Did his team
score
have
wins.
that?
No, he did not.
When was the last time he won a national championship? Can you even remember?
When
No,
was the
I can't.
last
You
time?
can't even remember.
I can't.
So if he's a great coach,
I'm not a fan or anything.
Bill
I don't
Self
really-
has more championships in the past 10
my
years than Roy
goodness.
Williams has.
Do you have a personal vendetta against Roy Williams?
No, I just like.
And Bill Self. He didn't really like Bill Self either.
Where's this coming from? Where's this hatred
I'm
coming
just saying,
from?
what have you done for me lately?
Get into the national championship game last year.
Has he won it?
No, but he got there. Most
Okay.
coaches can't do that.
Okay, most coaches can't do that, but he's gotten there. Why
So
can't
how is he not a good coach if he can do that?
He's
and
a
other coaches
good coach
can't?
getting there, but he's not a great coach. He's not a great coach.
You have to
When
agree
the-
he's one of the coaches that are in it that you say, wow, them in the tournament, I know he could coach a team to win.
And thank you for that. But now to the Diamond, spring training has just started, and so the World Baseball Classic. Do you guys think players should play in the Classic, and do you guys think it's necessary to have the Classic?
I think it's a great thing. I think it was great for baseball. I think it's great for the players, especially the players who want to represent their country and play. And they show a lot of pride in it. And a lot of the games with the countries like Dominican Republic, they get very amped up. It's like a World Series atmosphere. And I think you keep shaking your head and disagree with me, but the fact remains that
'Cause you're wrong.
these players love playing in this game. And it's only 4 years. It's not like they're doing this every single year. If they was doing it like that, then I would be like, all right, it's a little excessive. We need to fall back on it. But I feel like 4-year intervals is good, and I feel like all these players, they love doing it. So what's wrong with that?
Don't point at him. I'm on his side. You know
Yeah,
that.
what's
So
wrong with
what's your
that?
point on it?
I think that it's all about the pride. And I know what your argument is, and I think that people, they go out and they play. Like I said, Bogarts, he's going to go out for the Netherlands, he's going to go play. He's going to try to win. He's not going to play half speed. That's not how this works. This is like FIFA. This is like the World Cup for baseball.
God.
It is the World Cup for
Yeah,
baseball.
it is.
There is no other comparison.
The World Baseball Classic is a waste of time. For professional baseball players, it should be college guys, high school guys, sure. I'd be all on board. I love baseball. I'd watch that all day long. But when you are a contracted employee to these Major League Baseball teams, are they contracted to
I know, just take your time, get it
contracted
out.
to their countries? No, they're contracted to their MLB respected clubs.
They're showing pride in their country.
I don't
Their club-
care.
What is
their
wrong
clubs-
with
I don't
showcasing
care.
that?
This is the world's smallest violin. I don't care. They are contracted to their club.
And they're giving the option to play or not. And
They're not gonna-
choosing to
they're not gonna
play.
say no.
It's within their right.
I think the
and it's
club
within their
should take
contract.
away that option.
And why is that? Why do you want to
You
dictate
can't take
everything that they do?
that away. If a country's going to invite one of their
The
players.
Olympics takes that away because it's during the mid-season. What's more, the World Baseball
Because of the
Classic-
placement of it. If the Olympics wasn't mid-season, it wouldn't take that away.
Let me ask you this. If you have the World Baseball Classic after this season, I'd be fine with it.
I see,
Because
I wouldn't.
you would have plenty of time to heal. You'd have less players playing it.
Not the team, not the
Plenty of
players that are
times
in the
to heal.
playoffs or go all the way and win the World Series.
But
Those
I mean,
teams
if they
don't
get injured in
outside.
the World Baseball Classic, what's going to happen?
They could get injured. My whole thing is they could get injured in anything.
Okay,
Spring
let's talk
training
about
games.
Exactly.
Pitchers. They have to get so many pitches in before they go a full tilt game. You have Archer. He's going to go throw 7 innings in the World Baseball Classic and probably throw out his arm by mid-season.
And what did I tell you? They're throwing behind the scenes way before this.
But they're not
especially
seeing
coming.
live action.
Yes, they are
No,
doing
they're
simulated games. Don't tell me how that's going to
It's
work. They are
different.
doing
No,
simulated
games are different from actual games.
You can't just go out and just, I'm just going to play an actual game. Let's get
That's
18
what they're
guys
doing in
together.
the World Baseball Classic.
You're saying
No,
that
that's
they're-
a tournament, not just a random, let's just get
So you're
guys
saying
together.
that they're just coming off their couches and decide that they want to play in the baseball.
That's
They're
not how it
No,
goes.
that's
to
not.
play.
No, I'm not
They've been-
saying that's what's happening.
they've been
Wait,
preparing.
before I get tag team on this issue, let me say my point. The
You
reason
did.
why,
You
no,
already said
listen,
your point.
no, but with pitchers, this is what you guys don't understand. They have to
Oh,
get.
I understand.
No, you don't. They have to get an amount of pitches in before they go full tilt. Chris Sale only went 2-3 innings for his first start in spring training. Archer's gonna
Are
go
you
7.
basing off of spring training pitches, or are you basing off of pitches
You're
in
not telling me what-
behind this?
you
Like said,
have to
behind the
get
scenes?
That's
ready.
what I'm saying. They are getting ready. They are getting
No,
ready.
because they're going full into 7-inning games.
Listen, they have been preparing for that this whole time.
But it's
they know the World Baseball Classic is coming. Why can't you wrap
Chris
your head
Sale
around
is
that?
going to be better prepared because he's pitching for the Red Sox.
That's
Than if
fine.
he
That's
pitched.
his program. That's what he did.
And he has the right to choose if he wants to do that or if he wants to play
But as
for his country.
As an owner of a club,
you're telling
yes,
Robinson
you
Cano, you're gonna be
can.
like Robinson Cano, you cannot play for Dominican Republic this
Sure,
year.
no, you can't.
And he'd say, oh yeah,
And he didn't
watch
look at you
me.
like, who
He'd
the
say,
hell do you
watch
think
me.
you are? Taking away that right from me. That's what he's going to look at
because
you and
I'm
say.
paying you hundreds of millions of dollars to play for the Seattle Mariners and do well and not be injured before the regular season even starts.
That's why it could also happen in spring training, is what I'm saying.
It is
the injuries. If you're just worried about the injuries and the
but
timing,
it's less likely to happen.
but no one's gonna. It having the World Baseball Classic at the end of the season wouldn't change anything.
It is. Yes, it would be.
It would not. I don't
because
think.
if you get injured in the World Baseball Classic, if it's after the season, there's less chance of you not being able to play.
When do you want it? When do you want it?
At the end of the season.
Like what month?
A month after the World Series.
So like December?
December, November area, yes.
I don't think, because then you play that and then
you're competing with
because now you're playing all year round.
You're
because
competing
now
with
you're competing with
other
other
Okay,
sports.
who's honestly watching the World Baseball Classic besides real big sports fans and baseball fans? Who's actually watching it?
Well, it's not
There'll be
accessible.
a lot more viewers than in
It is
December.
also not accessible unless you have MLB Network, which only I'm
Well,
assuming
that's a
fans would
different
have.
conversation.
That's like, you know what I mean?
With
So it's
cable
not
viewers.
And that
accessible
was a
for people
great
to
topic.
watch.
Now let's go to free agency. As free agency officially started, what free agents can make big impacts in the market, and also what teams need upgrades to become a contender for the Vince Lombardi Trophy?
Well, listen, we can go on a list of all the things that the Cleveland Browns need right now, and they're not going to get not even a quarter of what they need because of the fact that they just accepted a trade for Brock Osweiler to take that full contract and only give up a second-round pick. I find this to be, well, they get a second-round pick. I find this to be idiotic because you got certain teams that need a little bit of everything. And I feel like free agency, you're not going to get everything in one season. You're going to have to draft. You're going to have to try to develop some players. I feel like a lot of teams, they just try to go after free agency specifically to change their whole team around.
That's what the Eagles do.
No, so we just picked up Carson Wentz. We didn't draft him or anything like that.
No, but Alshon Jeffries that you guys
we just picked
signed,
him up. Yeah, we just picked him up.
1 year, $14 million.
Yeah.
That's
But he
overpaying.
also signed there for a
That's
reason.
not overpaying.
He
That's
definitely
the
signed
max
there for a
deal.
reason.
That's the same price as a franchise tag. He wanted to get 1 year to prove himself to every other team, the whole NFL, that he's a big time receiver that deserves big time money. And I feel like why not give him
I think
the opportunity?
Alshon Jeffries is a good pickup, especially for the Eagles.
Yes.
Okay,
You
let
need
me ask you
receivers.
guys this a counter question. Would you rather your team not do anything? Say like the Green Bay Packers. They never sign anybody in the offseason.
And they're not good.
I don't know if it's like the Boston Celtics effect when you can't get anybody, but as a Green Bay Packers fan, how do you think that's going to portray for the season? You're not signing your best offensive lineman, Long, who's in free agency.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going after any running back in AP and Jamal Charles. What can they do?
I feel like they're kind of sitting back. I think if they're going to do something, they should do something focused on defense. I think that should be the first thing. I know if Chris Long ends
Well,
up
we're getting
leaving.
down to the deadline. So
No, well, that's what I'm saying. But again, when was the last time they had a big time move?
it's been a while, yeah.
It has been a while, and I mean, Aaron Rodgers has
I
done
think
what
it
he
was Charles
can
Woodson
do.
was the real last big move.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that was a very. I think that was one of their better pickups that they've
Absolutely.
had.
Won you guys a Super Bowl.
But I mean, I think we should try to do whatever we can do to hold together that offensive line, because I think the offensive line did really
So
well
what are you
last
gonna
year.
do with defense?
Plus, I'd say increased defense is the first thing.
So for both of you, what's one big free agent that's still left at this point that can make an impact?
Adrian Peterson, he's a big time running back. Dante
Hightower, yep.
He's a big linebacker. I don't know why the Patriots are taking their time in signing him. I feel like he should have been re-signed immediately during the offseason.
Hightower, I don't think they're gonna resign.
You don't think they're going to
No,
resign
I don't
No.
think so. Because he's going to ask for a lot of money. They're not going to match whatever any other team goes.
Listen, I don't understand how much money you have to give players.
But now you have to pay, because at
$9
this point
million
you have
was
to
too
pay
much for
Butler.
Martellus Bennett.
You have to pay all these people.
they're not
the
going
New
to
England
resign
Patriots way.
Butler.
No, the New England Patriots way is we're not going to pay overpriced for somebody. They're not going to go overpriced for anybody.
You do the renting system. You just rent a player for like a couple seasons.
Or for a
and then-
5th round pick and turn him into a champion. So I guess it really doesn't matter.
The one thing I'm going to say for the New England Patriots was Deshaun Gilmore, who they signed.
yeah.
Great pickup. I think he's going to be one corner. He's a great cornerback, great shutdown corner. He plays man to man. Patriots haven't had many great man to man players since Brandon Browner came and Darrelle Revis. And talking about Darrelle Revis, I think Darrelle Revis is going to come back to the Patriots on a discounted rate for 1
Really?
year.
Oh, yeah, he'll definitely get discounted rate.
Yeah, he's not getting more than
No,
that.
But is he even worth it though?
You don't
his
know.
ability
at this
is
point.
depleting.
I
as we
think
speak.
as a third, fourth cornerback, absolutely. But besides that, what's one team quickly you guys see with this free agency making a big impact?
Making a big move or
Yeah.
team
with
or player?
their moves, what can they do as a team?
I don't know. I'm curious to see what teams like Houston will do now and Denver, because they're not as to the bottom of the barrel as Cleveland was. So they have some. They just need to fill some spots, especially in the quarterback area. That's why I find it interesting that Tony Romo still is going to get released and will be out
I'm
there.
on the same boat. Houston made a huge move by just getting rid of Brock Osweiler. That just puts them in the right direction, just getting rid of that in that contract and freeing up cap space. If they could sign a guy like Tony Romo, like we were talking about earlier, get a guy like him who's a veteran quarterback who can lead this team and do something offensively, throw the ball down the field, which Brock Osweiler couldn't do. I think maybe that would be like the biggest win out of free agency.
It's also a question, though, how Tony Romo will actually perform. We really don't know. I mean, he played, a couple series in that last game against the Eagles last year, threw a touchdown. But that was pretty much his only action last year. He played a year and a half ago at that point. So by the time next year comes around, how is he going to play?
It was the Tom Brady effect. He got his job taken away, but that's what happens.
Yeah.
But that's a wrap for this edition of Hot Take Nation. If you want to hear more, don't forget to tune in to WSKB 89.5, The Rush, for even more sports talk every Thursday, 4 to 6. Thank you for joining us here on Hot Take Nation. I'm your host, Anthony Swenson, and we'll see you next time.